Hi, Lord Magicus, and we're going to play more Merfolk in Legacy. So, today we're going to play Mono Blue Fishies. We already tried Simic last time and it did fine. Let's see how Mono Blue handles this meta game. So, because Renin 6 is now a thing that's apparently taking over Legacy, we should be prepared a little bit for it. We didn't get to see it much last time, but it's hard to say if it's just because MTGO has a different kind of legacy scene, or maybe we got lucky, or who knows. But so we're gonna try to hedge against it a little bit. In a world full of Plague Engineers and Renin 6, I don't believe in the power of Phantasmal Image quite as much. I think it's really easy to kill this thing, and copying True Name Nemesis is just a good way to get blown out by a Plague Engineer set to Merfolk. So I'm going to trim some of these, and instead I'm going to bring in Phyrexian Revoker. So it's actually a creature that's not a Merfolk, so Engineer does not immediately just kill it, and the rest of our board, I should say. They have to pick between those things, so it can survive, alongside True Name easier, but it also shuts down Renin 6, and it's generally really good against the Teferi and Arsets that we see in like Miracles and Stoneblade. So I think this creature has some good potential to blow out opponents. Everything else can stay mostly the same. We're going to be at 3 Merfolk Tricksters because this card is very strong. I have 1 Truth in the main and 1 in the sideboard. I think that'll work out. Everything else basically going to be the same. One of the bigger advantages that Mono Blue is going to have is we have 12 basic islands in this deck, so they're not going to be able to establish a Wasteland lock as easily that will blow us out. So we'll see if that becomes relevant. Sideboarding, Grafdigger's Cage is actually really good against those decks as it turns off Dreadhorde, Arcanist, and Renin 6. They can't get their lands back from their graveyards. No, I'm sorry, no, they can. I lied. No, we just want this because of the Dreadhorde Arcanist. Duh. Yeah. But I mean, I think that's still fine. So, yeah, they're it's okay. Like our shutting down Arcanist is really the big thing, and we already have Revoker in the main deck to take care of the Planeswalker. So, I think that between the two of them will be fine. And then Surgical is in here. Still good against Life from the Loam. And the other things that the Grafdigger's Cage and Surgicals are also fine against Reanimator, which there might be a little bit more of that now. It's hard to say. Who knows? We do have 3 Dismembers because we have to have an answer to stuff like Monastery Mentor. Killing Arcanist is fine with it. Then we also have Karakas, because Karakas is one of our ways of dealing with Merit Lodge, and it also deals with the Reanimator decks by bouncing stuff like Gristlebrand. Venser is fine. We bring in Venser against lands or any of the Merit Lodge decks. It's also good against Storm because it's one of the only pieces of interaction we have that you can play through Hope of Garapure. And there, yeah, we actually got to do that before when they had us locked down with that, and Venser won us the game. So. Let's check something. See, oh yeah, one other interesting thing is we might, if we see like the Epic Storm, we might actually want to sideboard in Karakas against them, because they're going to board in 3 Hope of Garapure to turn off our Force of Negations and Force of Will. Well, we can turn off their creature from ever hitting us with Karakas. So that might be worth bringing in against the Epic Storm. We'll see. If that comes up, it's certainly relevant. But it also has really good synergy with Venser, because we can, Venser something and then bounce Venser back to our hand and then keep redeploying it. So I think this is this is a card that is really good in our sideboard, and maybe not a lot of people might expect us to play a land in the board that makes white mana. So yeah, and then everything else is the same. Echoing Truth, having extras of these is always fine because it lets us have more outs against Merit Lodge and Force of Negation. I think this is going to be the go-to package here of more counterspell stuff. So, yeah, I think this is going to be solid. We'll give it a try and see how it goes. So let's go play some Legacy. Alright, Legacy League. Okay. So, I'm not sure what I'm going to play yet, Mono Blue or Simic. Maybe this will change my mind. Alright, let's join. So we're on the draw. Let's see. This is a very interesting hand. We have Force of Will. They're on the play, though. Over Phyrexian Revoker and Mutavault is kind of fine, I guess. If we ever see, like, True Name Nemesis, we can actually cast it. Ugh. This is not a really great hand but against some decks, but it might be fine. Who knows? I think it's playable enough that I'm going to keep it. I know there was some debate over hands that I've kept before, but I think this one is close enough because we have... So these are pretty good interactive cards against a lot of decks that we might face. I think this is reasonable to keep, even if it's not a particularly Merfolk good hand. I think it's just reasonable in general. Okay. Let's see what we're up against. Badlands. Alright. Faithless Looting. So we might be up against Hogaak. Yeah, I guess I'm going to let this happen. And this Revoker is probably naming... Yeah, Bloodghast, okay. Revoker is probably going to name Altar of Dementia. Alright, pass. We might actually pitch Lord of Atlantis to force, because it may be important to have two forces. Or if they Cabal Therapy, that would be terrible for us. Had nothing else to do, that's interesting. So I think here, I'm just gonna Revoker them. Right, is there... I don't think there's any other deck that... I don't know. This is tough to say. Yeah, I think we're just going to take a shot in the dark here. I'm going to name Altar of Dementia. We might be playing Hogaak. I mean, this could just be like maybe a regular Dredge deck, and I think that Altar's fine. We'll take a crack at it and see if this works. There's also argument that maybe I should have played Mutavault that turn. Okay. Clearly he doesn't have like Hogaak or anything. He could have tried to do something to cast it. Polluted Delta. Right, maybe Faithless Looting here. If they flash it back, I might burn a Force of Will on that. You know what? I think I am willing to counter this. Because if they hit us with Cabal Therapy and take Force of Will, they can just easily sack a Bloodghast. Alright. So, I'm gonna hold the Force for right now. Let's play another Revoker, and I guess... let's see. Is there anything else that I can think of off the top of my head that's going to be really worth naming? Uh, I guess no, I'm just gonna double name. I'll just name the same thing twice. That way, if they have a removal spell, then we're protected against it. So now we're attacking for 6, and they're only attacking for 4. And we might be attacking for 7, possibly. I mean, we could have possibly named something like Carrion Feeder, but given that the altar is the thing that's really dangerous. Okay, you're going to cast another Bloodghast. Why didn't you attack, though? No, he's going to cast Hogaak now, that's why. That has to be why. So we can actually force it after... Yeah, let's use our force now. Now we can crack in for 6. Oh, that's beautiful. Let's just play our cards. So we were right the whole time. It was, in fact, Hogaak. Which means they should be dead next turn. I doubt there's any way they can kill us, and yeah. We have altered double named. Nope. Alright, sick. So there we go, Phyrexian Revoker. We picked the right card in the blind, and it paid off for us. So, what do we want to do here? Chalice is going to be very strong. Maybe Benthic Biomancer, but we might not have time to dick around with that. Probably Surgical Extraction is fine. Probably Grafdigger's Cage is also what we want. The rest of these cards are mostly okay. We could bring in, like, Echoing Truth. It's not the worst. A Phantasmal Image is also not the worst. True Name Nemesis is fine, but it might be a little slow. Most of their things are not blocking anyway, so maybe we don't need True Name. We could just bring in more interactive stuff. We might want Dismember for Carrion Feeder or something of that sort. So what are we going to do with that? Oh, you know what? Caracas can actually bounce Hogaak, but that's I think that at that point is probably too late. I don't really want Force of Do I? We're at 19, but we also effectively have 23 creatures that can attack. Could bring in Venser, which is okay, but not great. Force of Negation, maybe we want this, just to counter altars. Alright, let's do that. Yeah, Image is also good because it can kill a bridge from below, so that's a relevant thing. Can choose not to copy anything and just let it die as a 0/0. Good old Hogaak Bridgevine in Legacy. Alright. Ooh. This is a very, very risky hand. However, I think we might need to keep this. We are on the draw. We can cast Vial and then like Grafdigger's Cage and then or maybe Chalice. Even if they like Cabal Therapy us and take something, it's not really the end of the world. I think I'm gonna keep it. This is pretty greedy, but I think all these 3 cards together are things that we can do with this mana, and I think we'll stick Vial first. Probably. I don't know. It depends. Stitcher Supply. Alright, well then we might need to play this cage. Put 2 Hogaaks in there already. Ugh. Alright, so that's not really going to matter too much. I guess let's play Vile. Because if they could both... Yeah, we need to start getting like Vile ticked up so that Silvergill can get into play and draw us another land. Yeah. Mm-hmm. We can force a Will Hogaak. Hopefully. Unfortunately, the cage cannot stop him from casting it, so... Gravecrawler. Yeah. It means he could try to cast it now, I think. No, he can't, because he can't cast it in... Or no, yeah, he's by sacrificing to the Carrion Feeder. Yeah, that's fine. And Bridge from Below. Alright. He has Bombardment in his deck. Alright, well... We do have to counter this. Which... kind of... Like, we really want to have another land here. Okay. So I guess we're just playing Grafdigger's Cage. And then, so that way, he can't keep recasting Gravecrawler. It'll keep the bridge under control, hopefully. So it's not good. He definitely had a very strong start with turn 2 Hogaak and bridge from in the graveyard. Yeah, that's... I mean, we have another one if we have to, but I think if we draw an island at this point, it doesn't matter. We're going to start getting hit in the face with this a lot, though. Sure. Alter. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my god, this is not where we need to be right now. Where did I get sent a message? I have no idea. I didn't... It said that he sent me a message, but I didn't see it. It's not in the game anywhere, so... Or at least not as far as I can tell. Fuck. Yeah, I think I have to counter this. So now we just need to draw a land so Mutavault and Silvergill can block something. Alright. I guess I'm going to put a Silvergill in play right now. I don't know. This is really greedy because if I don't draw a land, I'm dead. Alright, that's fine. Yeah, they can attack for 4. I mean, I could have trickstered something down, but at any given point, they could just, like, sack things to this Gravecrawler anyway. That's fine. We never drew our second land. Ugh. I would... I don't know why it said that, like, he sent me a... Okay, well, I have no idea. It said that he sent me a message. I have no idea why. You saw that, right? You should... No. I don't think we're going to change anything. I mean, maybe we should just bring Caracas in, because if their plan is to just cast an early Hogaak, this might just be fine. Just bounce it. What do we take out for that, though? We have a lot of things in here already. Guess maybe Echoing Truth. Like, it's hard to say. I guess I'm gonna do it like this. The Echoing Truth could be fine, but at the same time, like, it might not be if they have sack outlets. This is much better. We're gonna keep. Chalice on 1 should easily wreck his face. And we have a force to protect it. And then we have a second Chalice just in case something bad happens to the first one. So we'll counter like Thoughtseize in turn 1. Sure. Alright. I mean, I wish that wasn't another land, but this is not it's not hopeless yet. I think Chalice should be fine. Didn't do anything else, that's good. Alright, so that's also helpful. Merfolk. Let's play Lord of Atlantis. Keep up force in case we need it for something. If they blow up Chalice, I might just let them do it because we can redeploy it next turn. Like, Hogaak definitely gets countered right now, I think. That definitely gets countered. But now they could just play Hogaak, and if they just have it, they have it, and there's not anything we can really do about it. Yeah, you have yourself an 8/8 Trampler. Ugh. Okay, well, that's a thing. And we continue to top deck lands. Yeah, we can't really attack into this. Nope, blocking is not an option right now. I guess Trickster might help a little bit. That's not helping us. I think we're going to lose this one just because we are flooding out. Yeah, I think no matter what we do, we can block. No, we're dead. We lost. We drew 5 lands, and that was that. It turns out that, you know, just the Hogaak itself was enough. I don't know. We could have maybe kept Echoing Truth. I'm not sure if that was really the right decision or not. The Caracas can bounce it just as easily, but we didn't see that either, so... Could have... The problem is if you cut like too many colored mana sources, then it becomes hard to actually cast your spells. I mean, I don't know, maybe Mutavault gets cut for the Caracas? That doesn't seem right. I don't. That's hard to say that. But I mean, drawing 5 lands and 1 creature was it was not enough to beat that deck. Like, they just had Hogaak and Alter. If we didn't counter Alter, then we were still probably in trouble anyway, because they can just dig for, you know, sacrifice things to find a bridge from below. And yeah, we're not really much better off in that scenario. I don't have the good plan for this deck yet. I'm trying. Experimenting with things, but no, Hogaak is still like ridiculously good. Yeah, I imagine like against something like Swords of Plowshare, that's probably a lot better against Hogaak when you can just exile it, but that's still a hard thing to do because of all the sacrifice outlets. Maybe a consideration in the first game we could have named Carrion Feeder with the second Revoker, but it didn't really matter. We still, I think Alter was fine. That's really the scary one usually. I don't know. There are some things that maybe we could have did differently. I think we definitely got like unlucky with only having 1 land in the second game. The hand, like, if we had the second land at any point, like, that becomes alive a lot, and we had many turns to draw it and just couldn't do it, so... Like, not drawing it in, like, 3 or 4 cards was terrible. Considering that the deck is 33% lands, you'd think that you should see one after, like, 3 draws, but... You know, sometimes it is what it is. That was a very interaction-heavy hand, but it just lost to, like, little beats. So that's part of the problem, is, like, Hogaak is really good at just the beating plan and also the combo plan. And you can probably defend against one of those plans pretty easily, but like we saw in Modern, like it's hard to defend against both of them. And it turns out it's still a really good plan in Legacy when you also staple it to things like Cabal Therapy on top of it. It's disgusting. Alright, why is this taking us so long? I guess maybe one thing we should think about, would Simic have been any better against it? I don't know, maybe? Probably not. Alright, well, we're on the draw for round 2. Let's see. Can we do better now? This hand is absolutely fine. We're going to keep. We've got a bunch of good cards and mana to cast them. Very easy keep. Delta, okay. Swamp. Thoughtseize. I guess this is going to happen. I don't want to just force this Thoughtseize. They're going to know what we're up to, but the card disadvantage, I think, is a little bit rough. Yeah, they took the force anyway. Like, the difference is they lost the 2 life and they know what's in our hand, but we also got to keep an extra card. Alright, well, they're going to know about this, but we have to play it, so... And then next turn we'll play Chalice if given the chance. Unless they give us some reason to play Revoker instead. Yes. They might have a force for this. No, okay. I guess this just isn't affecting whatever they're doing, so that's interesting. I got 2 basic lands. So this could be like Storm, this could be Reanimator. Alright. Maybe Esper Stoneblade. What did you pick up? Lion's Eye Diamond. This is probably Storm. Alright, so Echo of Aeons, huh? Alright, so we don't... Yeah, we get to draw 1 card. However, they can't... Alright, so we're definitely going to be casting Chalice and Zero next time. Alright, well, let's just play it on Zero now. Yeah. They could theoretically echo us again. Now this is Echo of Aeon Storm. That's I've heard about this deck. This is the first time I've got to see it in action. I asked about it, and it's... I think maybe the regular deck is just a little bit better. Like the regular Storm deck is probably better without Echo, but Pulverize is a card that is very hard for us to beat. So you can see, you can sacrifice 2 mountains to destroy all artifacts. However, he does not have 2 mountains yet, so cannot actually cast this thing because it's a 6 mana card. There's a possibility we could draw True Name Nemesis, but it's also possible we draw Silvergill Adept, in which case definitely want to be able to Violet in. Alright, well, I guess we're stupid, so that's Chalice on 1. Neat. Not paying attention. Just getting fucking demoralized by them, you know, discarding our entire hand to Echo, and... Alright, come on. This is not how we win. This is how we throw games away where maybe we have a chance, because that could have been relevant for, like, Force of Will or something. Ugh, what am I doing? They did not reveal anything, right? No. Alright, well... You can't play this. I'm gonna have to take Vial up next turn. Hope that they don't find another way to cast this Pulverize. Another Echo of Aeons, huh? Well, you can't actually cast that yet. I have to imagine maybe he's got something like Vendilion Clique. Could be debating. Alright. But I don't think that we can afford to play around something like that right now. Alright, maybe we can find a way. We have to be able to kill this Narset again before he draws 7 more cards. Alright. Well, see, look, now we're going to get punished because we don't have this in hand for Force. Which means if he does find another fetch land, then he's going to blow up all this shit and we can't counter the Pulverize anymore. Ugh. Yeah. Burning Wish can theoretically find an answer to these dummies in Toxic Deluge, in which we also cannot counter. Massacre, yeah, that's fine. Alright. Thoughtseize. Well, I don't understand what you're doing. You're just casting spells into Chalice for no reason. Yeah, this is what getting punished looks like. If we kept this Biomancer in hand, this would be easily winning, but now it's only maybe winning. Now we can just cast Massacre. Yep. Alright. Well, if their plan ever involved casting ad nauseam, it's probably off the table. So they're also not going to be able to hard cast Echo of Aeons. They're going to have to rely on discarding it. At this point, I might even play Chalice on 2 if given the chance. Well, they still have Pulverize in hand. They're at the point where they... Yeah, you know what? We just have to try to kill them. Alright. Are we gonna... Alright, well, we win despite idiocy, which we very easily could have lost that game because we're stupid, so... Alright, we definitely want Venser. We need Force of Negation and probably Echoing Truth. Because if they have Narset in play, being able to bounce it's going to be really relevant. Grafdigger's Cage also keeps them from casting Echo of Aeons when it's in their graveyard. However, they can retain priority after discarding it, so that's probably not relevant. Benthic Biomancer is probably not good. And what else here? Revoker is fine, so we can name LED with it. We don't actually need True Name Nemesis in this kind of matchup. So I think what I might do is just bring in Grafdigger's Cages instead. This card does effectively counter... yeah, it counters, or it stops them from flashing back the Echo of Aeons. Do I want anything else? Do I want Caracas? Maybe. I haven't seen them play. Like, I don't know if they're going to bring in, like, Hope of Garapure or anything, but we have Echoing Truths and Fencers. Maybe we'll be fine. I'll try it like this. We might change sideboarding strategy if they show us something else. That was embarrassing. Like, we very easily could have lost that because not paying attention to Chalice. Holding on to Benthic Biomancer, like, if we countered the Massacre, then we probably win on the spot. But we very nearly lost because of that. And that is a mistake that, like, you could very easily get punished for, and I don't know. I need to just stop focusing on that and just keep focused on this game now. Alright, come on, we can do this. Let's not dwell on the past here. I haven't seen this deck list a lot. I think they do play stuff like Entomb, so they can go Entomb for Echo and then LED for it. So, this hand is absolutely great. We're going to keep this. Mm-hmm. So I think this is a matchup where attrition with Mutavault is going to be relevant, so we might actually be... We probably are going to cast Silvergill next turn, but if something happens, then maybe there's a chance we want to attack this. I'm not in any rush to cast a Lord right now. I want to cast Silvergill and get an extra card before Narset comes down. You can Thoughtseize me, but I still have protection no matter what you take, so that's going to be fine. You are not going to be able to go off this turn. Unless you, yeah, like, maybe, I don't know. I guess that makes sense. This one's a little bit stronger than Force of Will. So we lose life for this, and that one exiles it if they ever hard cast it, so. So can we draw something that changes our mind? Oh, he didn't play another land, did he? He just Thoughtseize and passed. Alright, well, we are going to play this. They already know about Master of the Pearl Trident, so we'll show it to them again. Then next turn we can tick Vial up and then attack for 6. Okay. Right, we played a land, yeah. So probably pitch Silvergill to Force of Will if necessary. This will just give us the fastest clock. Yeah, I guess that's fine. Alright, so you took Force of Will, so now you're just in a drag race with us. But because you took an extra 2 off Thoughtseize, then we might not need to play this turn. That is insanely powerful. The question is, what are we going to do here? They still only have 1 land, so we can attack for 4. It puts them to 12. And then next turn we can attack for 3, 6, 9. It could be 3, 6, 9. Yeah, if we put Silvergill in play, then next turn we can put Lord in play and attack for 12. So that's what we're going to do. So animate. And now we'll put Silvergill into play end of turn, and the next turn we can play Islands, Master, kill him. And it shouldn't be able to echo this turn. Beautiful. So does it matter if we put 2 Lords in play? Because then it would be... Yeah, it would still be 12. Alright, that's enough. Well, that's all it took to seal the deal on that one. I don't know, they kept an incredibly risky 1-land hand, I guess, and just did not pay off for them. So, yeah. That was cool. We beat the Echo the Aeons deck. I think that it's normally some kind of Storm deck, but, I mean, you could also play in a Reanimator Shell if you wanted to. I believe that they have Burning Wish in there, which leads me to believe that maybe it is Storm. I don't know. We can look up a deck list for it. Let's see. What does this look like here? Alright. It is a Tendrils of Agony deck, yeah. That's what I thought. Alright, so round 3 on the play. This is okay. I think we keep this. We're probably going to go Mutavault Aether Vial here. Phantasmal Images are force food at the moment. And then probably play like another... we probably are just going to play Cavernous Souls and then attack with Mutavault. Volcanic Island, so this Ponder, okay. So this looks like this could be a Delver deck. Could also be Sneak and Show. Island is fine. We want to play basic lands. Let's get in 2 damage while we can, while it's safe to do so. And we'll Violin Ben at the end of turn. Wasteland. Okay, this looks more and more like it's probably going to be a Wrenn and 6 list. Alright, how do we... I think here... I want to play Mutavault, I think. We'll adapt and see what they do. Alright, looks like they're going to let it happen. Definitely discard... I think, yeah, we can discard Island here, because if they have, like, Force at Will or something, we want Cavern. But I do want to adapt this before they get Wrenn and 6 in play, so that way it's immune to removal, if that's what we're up against. It's still possible this is a combo deck, but I think with Wasteland it... Alright, they just didn't find anything. That's interesting. So, they conceded really early on. So what does that tell us? This, I mean, it could be, maybe just it's like, you know, Rug Delver. Let's see. How do I want to approach this? Well, my guess is going to be that Benthic Biomancer is probably the weak link here. I don't think that, like, Sneak and Show would be playing a Wasteland in the deck. I'm going to say maybe I don't need the Echoing Truth. So what do I want to hedge against? If it's Delver, and they have Dreadhorde Arcanist, then the Grafdigger's Cage is relevant. And they might be I mean, it's possible they're a combo deck so of some sort, so... The Cage could be relevant if it's... what was I going to say? If it's... This stops stuff like Past and Flames. It also starts Dreadhorde Arcanist and Snapcaster Mage. Maybe. Dismember is also reasonable if I think they're a creature deck. Force of Negation is fine if it's a combo deck. So, you know what? I think what we'll do is we will take in Dismember and Force of Negation. We'll hedge against it. So if it's combo, we have extra pieces, and if it's creatures, we have extra pieces, and both of them are fine if it's just like a Delver deck. Alright. I hope that they actually show us what they're doing so I know what to call this matchup. Unfortunately, we have to mulligan this because we have no lands. We can keep this. Put a Cavern of Souls in the bottom. We're hoping to just recast True Name Nemesis and have it win. I think this hand is probably fine no matter what we're up against. Oh, beautiful. I'm not playing this Trickster yet. Okay. Neat. So here's what's going to happen. We're going to play Cavern and Merfolk, and they're probably going to blow it up. But we're going to put a True Name out before they can do anything. So they can exchange Wasteland with this, that's fine. But this comes out and they can't daze it. As far as I'm concerned, this looks like Rug Delver. Alright, what's your plan here? I would like to Force a Will that. So it looks like they don't have a counterspell. And we drew another Cavern of Souls because we're really good at magic cards. So hopefully we can do that, just kill them with True Name before they can do anything about it. Alright, that was easy. It was just like a Rug Delver deck, I guess. The True Name makes me think that it was probably Delver. And yeah, they had absolutely no way to deal with it. I guess maybe they were only playing 3 colors and they did not splash for like Plague Engineer or anything of that sort. I don't know. Their hand just must have been absolute garbage. Just, I can't imagine what, maybe a bunch of lands and like removal spells like a Braid or something. They just didn't have targets. Definitely reasonable if they think if we're going to play Chalice, then they need things like a Braid. But a Braid's not going to do anything against True Name, so easy victories. That's what we want. And we saw lots of wasteland, so the having the islands was very helpful. Alright, round 4 in the draw. Now this is an insanely risky hand. I think because we don't have 2 lands, like, we're on the draw, but so if there was a land in the top 2, this hand might be good. But at the same time, I don't think I can reasonably keep a 7 that doesn't cast anything relevant. Like, if I had Aether Vial, I would keep this in a heartbeat. Or maybe if I had Force of Will instead of one of these creatures, I might keep it. They kept 7. We're going to mulligan. I need to have, like, 2 lands. This is much better. And keep. I guess I'll put a Lord in the bottom. I mean, there's also an argument we could put an island on the bottom, but... Okay, well, it doesn't really matter because we're up against... this is absolutely 100% Merit Lodge deck. Black-green Turbo Depths. Guaranteed. 95%. Though I think they normally play Thoughtseize instead of Inquisition, so... This is kind of rough. So now we're in a position where they can just like turn 2 stick Merit Lodge and there's nothing we can really do about it. However, since this hand actually does like attempt to play Magic, I'm going to try. The last time that we were up against a deck like this, because they also played the Mox and discarded a Dark Depths, we knew that they started with Urborg and then discarded Dark Depths, so that was the tell that they definitely had Dark Depths to put into play in turn 2. So yeah, the last time we played against this deck, we conceded because I didn't want them to see. But because yeah, like it looks like maybe they might not have it this time. Yeah, that's fine, I guess. Should probably take Lord of Atlantis because we can't cast this then. Yep. They didn't start with like a draw that made us guaranteed like know that they're going to combo in turn 2, so it's worth playing this now. But yeah, game 1, expect to lose against Turbo Depths a lot. I guess they're also considering like, do they want to fetch for something right now? You could play something like Elvish Reclaimer, or maybe just hold up Crop Rotation. It's also, they might be considering just casting something like Crop Rotation now because they know we don't have a force in hand. Alright, well, that's helpful, I guess. Let's cast Silvergill while we can. They know we have Trickster, but at the same time we're still going to have a mystery card, which, for all they know, could be Force of Will. True Name is not exactly what I would want here, because, again, they're representing, like, at any point they could just Crop Rotation into Dark Depths and then cast Hexmage, and then we're in trouble. I think we'd really like Phyrexian Revoker or Echoing Truth. Trickster is okay. This card is fine because it can buy us a turn. But we will play True Name next turn and just start attacking and hopefully try to race them. It looks like maybe they just kept a hand that had a bunch of discard and like hoping to get there like that. Alright. So what's up? Sylvan Scrying. Okay, so they're going to find Dark Depths. Nothing we can do about this. They can even play it this turn. Means it cannot attack. There won't be a Merit Lodge attacking us next turn at the very least. Aether Vial is a little bit late here. So now Hexmage just makes Merit Lodge at instant speed. Yep. So what we really, really would like is Echoing Truth. We don't have any spells that are going to counter this, so it's fine. We'll just tap the Caverns. We cannot cast this. We have to hold up Trickster. So True Name can get in damage. Tap it down before hopefully they draw like Crop Rotation to give it protection from blue. If they have crop rotation, we just die. We can't play around that at all. And I think if we draw Lord of Atlantis or Master of the Pearl Trident, we actually have a chance. Nope. It looks like they have it. They have to. There's no way that they don't. Alright. I mean, they had everything, so that's fine. We lose. They attack us for 20. Sure, they showed us as their hand. That's fine. Alright, well, we did what we could. This is rough. I think, yeah, True Name's going to come out. We need Echoing Truth. Caracas, we want this. Venser, I want that. Probably Force of Negation. Phantasmal Image is fine. I guess maybe Benthic Biomancer is a little bit slow. Take out Ben's. I think the rest of this is okay, because Chalice on 1 turns off a lot of their deck, surprisingly. They do have stuff like Abrupt Decay, but, you know, that is what it is. We just need Force to stop them from crop rotation and things like that, or like Sylvan Scrying, for instance. This match is bad. Phyrexian Revoker's fine, because it can name Vampire Hexmage, or Sylvan, or was it Elvish Reclaimer, I think, the new one that lets them tutor their deck for a land. So, yeah, I think this is how we're going to do this. I would love to play first. I guess I have to keep this. It sucks because they're going to know about this Caracas and be able to Pithing Needle it. But we have, like, Revoker and Image, so if we can stick Violin too, then these cards are all going to be very strong. Can drag these around all willy-nilly. They mulligan to 5. Okay, so it's going to be a good sign. That means there's less of a chance that they have hate for our hate. Caracas, as long as it's in play, allows us to bounce the Merit Lodge, and they have to find Pithing Needle or Wasteland to deal with this before they can ever kill us with a Merit Lodge. And if they ever make a token, then we can threaten to Violin Phantasmal Image, block it, and then kill them. Image is okay in this matchup. They do have some removal in the form of like Abrupt Decay or also, what's the other one? Assassin's Trophy. So it's not guaranteed that it's going to work, but hopefully this is fine. So even if they Thoughtseize us, we still have reasonable interaction for them. I think I forgot to bring this in last time. Or no, I did bring it in. I forgot to play it last time. That was the problem. I guess we're just playing Vile. Hope that this ticks up to 2 and we draw a land so we can Chalice on 1. That will shut off Pithing Needle and also most of their important spells. Yeah. I'm guessing Wasteland. That's what makes sense to me. Dark Depths, okay. So they think they have a path to go for it somehow. Interesting. So yes, and yes. Alright, let's put Silvergill in play. If we draw a land, then we can play this Chalice. Alright, good. Excellent. This protects us from Pithing Needle, Warlike Crop Rotation, a number of different spells they have that are dangerous to our health. I'm feeling pretty good about this one. We've got about as much as we can reasonably hope for against this deck, so let's just hope it's enough. And they mulled to 5, so I don't know how they break this. It's certainly possible. Something like Plague Engineer could come online. I think some of these decks do sideboard that card. Hopefully with 2 Aether Vials on 2, we'll be able to just find our way there. Conveniently, they did give us Island Walk by getting the Tropical Island. Alright. So this one, always no. That's fine. So, does it matter to my clock to put them at 15? I don't think so. I'd rather be able to put these 2 in play at instant speed. Destroying the Chalice. Yeah, that's fine. Fortunately, they cannot give their Merit Lodge protection from the Caracas. They have to actually needle or kill it. We can attack them for 3, 6, 10. We can we can attack for 10 next turn. I don't want to expose these into removal until I absolutely have to. If he plays Hex Mage, then I will absolutely put Revoker in. Okay. It's fine. So Vampire Hex Mage, I will respond. Okay. I want to do this first because I don't want them to do something sneaky like try to, remove all the counters off of an Aether Vial. Yeah. Thespian Stage. Okay. So you have a way to get a Merit Lodge in play. So they have Depths and Stage in hand right now, and then Mystery card. That's really good. So let's see. Yeah, we can't kill them yet, right? So that'd be 13, 14. Yeah, if we were to try to do both of these things, it would still only put them at 1, so we're just going to attack for 10. They have Island Walk conveniently, so I think we have a pretty good chokehold in this game. It looks like we're going to go to game 3, barring some ridiculous nonsense. I don't even think something like Toxic Deluge will get them out of this, because they'd have to do it for x equals 3, and we still have enough. We can put in 4 power into play. Alright, yeah, so going to game 3. Okay, I don't think we really need to change anything here. I think this plan worked out kind of the way we needed it to. No, these cards all look fine to me. Yeah, there's nothing I really want to change, so we're just going to run it back. Alright, game 3 against Turbo Depths on the draw. This is a fine hand. We have everything we could ever possibly want. An answer to Merit Lodge, counter spells, and Trickster. So, absolutely keeping this. Hopefully we can draw a blue source so we can play Trickster. We will pitch a force to a force. They thought this, so I probably have to let that happen. But I still think this is fine. Can play Mutavault probably in turn 1 and then attack. He mulled to 6. That's a good sign. He might mull further than that. Caracas is definitely where we want to be, though. That's the card that we have that's the hardest for them to deal with, because it specifically, I think, has to be like Wasteland or Pithing Needle. And I don't know how many copies of each of them they have. They're really prone to get blown out with crop rotation if we just counter it too. So Force can protect us from them finding that effect. It just means that it's a much... I think that's okay. Oh, okay, so we drew Benthic Biomancer, so I'm kind of inclined to play it. I want to get some pressure on the board. Because then, even if something happens to Silvergill, we have something to do with our mana next turn. So it looks like maybe turn 4 they can have Merit Lodge like this, unless they play like Thespian Stage and Search for Depths. Then they can have it in turn 3 and attack in turn 4. This doesn't seem like that's going to be that good, though. And we're going to hold this Caracas for as long as possible. I don't want to play it until, I feel like they can go off. Doesn't have another land to sacrifice the expedition map. That's good. No Thoughtseize or anything like that either. So it feels like he's got to be pretty far off here. Alright, it makes me feel good about our chances right now. So I think probably Mutavault, and then play Silvergill Adept, and then we'll attack. Yeah. Right. Well, here's the other thing, though. We might have, if we play Mutavault this turn, we might have to make a difficult choice between holding up Trickster or holding up Caracas. You know what, I'm going to play the island, because that way I don't think that there's any way I want to attack with Mutavault next turn. I will cast Silvergill Adept, because we just want to draw cards. The more blue cards we can hold in our hand, the better. Alright, that's fine. Probably not going to play that, but we might adapt Biomancer with it at some point. If he plays a land, then I think I might play Caracas. Inquisition, huh? Well, clearly that's the card they just drew for this turn. You know what, I'm fine. They can take anything they want. Because I feel like they're not going to be able to play a land and do... Yeah, they can't search for a land with this, and they're probably not going to have anything. No matter what happens, we still have, like, Force of Negation up. Alright, so they took... That's interesting. I think I would have taken Force of Will, because this can counter Vampire Hexmage if they ever find that. I wonder why they wanted this gone. Alright, well... They still, like... If they'd have to play another land next turn to be able to use the Expedition map. No, I think that our time here, we're getting too cute, so we gotta attack. Let's not hold back in this now. If they play a land, they can search for Wasteland, but it's going to take them a full turn cycle to even be able to kill this. Whereas now, if they just play like a Swamp and then play Hexmage, then we can still bounce this. So... our options here are... could flash in Trickster, they take Force of Will. That might just be better for our clock to do that. Because otherwise they can take Trickster anyway, so I think we have to just cast it. So now they're going to go to 13, and we can attack them for potentially 6 next turn, so put... yeah. They still can't attack us with a Merit Lodge. Alright, this is looking like it's gonna be in our favor now. I guess... Mutavault can't attack this turn, so there's no point in holding it back. And... not gonna bother with the Aether Vial. Alright, so they're dead next turn if they don't do anything. So they have to remove this, and yeah, I don't think they can do it. We have 8 coming at them. Alright. So I guess you're getting, what, Wasteland? Urborg. Okay, so you have Hexmage. Maybe? So that still puts you to 1, and we still can bounce Merit Lodge. Like, if you play Hexmage now, you have to... You have to like block this. If you have Hexmage, you have to play it because yeah, you don't have the alternative to just wait a turn because you have 8 power coming across to your face. You're also banking on us not drawing a Lord either. If you draw a Lord, then I don't think it matters, but Hexmage is a little bit too slow right now because you don't have a way to deal with the Caracas, as far as I can tell. Waiting a turn is going to be too late. So we'll still have enough attackers to swing past when you're at 1 life. Okay, yeah, I guess that's what you gotta do. That's neat. Alright, well, we definitely have to attack here. This is getting close. I don't think there's any scenario in which I'm casting this thing. Okay. Sure. So now we can crack Expedition Map and use Wasteland to blow this up. But if he does that, it takes his entire turn, and I still have lethal anyway, because he only has 2 blockers for my 4 attackers. Toxic Deluge, again, can't cast anything like that. Plague Engineer, well, that might do it. And he kills off Silvergill Adept with that, and yeah, I don't think, yeah, Plague Engineer wouldn't be enough. So I still have 3 attackers, and he'd only have 2 blockers. And it would also take his entire turn to do that. I don't think they can get out of this. I'm pretty sure that they're going to die. Alright, come on. That's alright. Sick. We got there. Caracas did its job. So, 3-1, that's pretty good. Good showing. So, yeah, this is why we sideboarded. And, you know, unlike last time, this time we actually played the fucking Caracas and decided to win the game instead of just punting it away to, like before. But this is why we learn and improve. I'm not going to make the same mistake twice. It's like, yes, you can blow it up, but blowing it up is also going to lose you the race, so it's fine. Alright, let's try to finish strong. What was it? Hogaak, Aeon Storm, Rug Delver, and Black-Green Depths. So that's about an average meta for Legacy Online so far. I guess maybe like Stoneblade or Miracles would kind of complete the set. I don't know. What do you think we're going to play against next? Take a guess. Take a guess and then tell me in the chat if you were right. Or, you know, tell me in the comments if what you guessed we were going to play against. Hoping it's not going to take too much longer. Oh. Anytime now. I don't want to wait all night for this. Come on, just give me a match. There we go. Okay, we are on the play. This is a perfectly reasonable hand that we are going to keep. Punishing Waterfalls. That doesn't make me feel good. I hope that he's not going to be playing any Punishing Fires. I don't know, they're punishing Waterfalls though. Maybe they're the opposite. Ponder? Sure. This looks like maybe Rug Delver again. And if that's the case, Chalice on 1 should be absolutely brutalizing to them. Alright. Let's ruin his entire life. Oh! Yes! Excellent. Begin sideboarding. Sick. So they just conceded to Chalice on 1. Awesome. So my guess is it's probably Rug Delver. So what do we want to do against that? I guess we'll side out Benthic Biomancer. Bring in Dismember. What did we do last time? I think we took out Echoing Truth and maybe just bring in, like... They conceded really quickly, so that they're a deck that just, like, straight up cannot beat this card. That could also be Infect. That's possible, so the Dismembers could be fine. You know what? I'll take the Echoing Truth, just in case this is Infect. Because Chalice on 1 is also very good against that deck, too. And Echoing Truth still interacts with, like, Arcanist. Like, it interacts with their deck. I mean, it's possible maybe we want some number of these. I don't know. We'll find out. If they give us reason, maybe the Echoing Truths will get sided out, and then we might bring in Grafdigger's Cages. The Dismember is fine. Like, it depends. Like, I think the card is okay. We do keep this, though. Dismember deals with stuff like Young Pyromancer and Tarmogoyf if they're playing that. Oh, okay, no. So they are a black, blue, green deck? I mean, they could also be 4 colors. So Sultai. A Sultai deck that's really weak against Chalice on 1. Alright, that bodes well for us. It means they might have something like Plague Engineer, though. Oh, it could be Storm, actually, yeah. You know what? I think it is Storm. Okay, so maybe... Yeah, alright. That makes sense. They took Force. It's fine. So it's a Storm deck, and they had like a handful of 1-drops, and they just couldn't beat it. Alright. So True Name is definitely going to come out for Venser and Force of Negations. Depending upon what they show us, maybe Grafdigger's Cage if it looks like it's an Echo of Aeon's version. Yeah, okay. Yeah, they probably have like Abrupt Decay in the deck, and that's why they have this. Santid Swarm, okay. Well, we are definitely dismembering it. I'm not going to let him attack. He doesn't know that we have these cards in there, or we might have a Force in hand. He doesn't know. True Name is going to be our fastest clock, probably. It's not what the kind of card we want in this matchup, but I want to be able to play this and then have Trickster in case they play another one of these kind of dinks. So that we can still hold up counterspells for a little bit longer, maybe. Alright, Merfolk. Alright, at this point we are going to play Trickster, though, just to make it a 3-turn clock. And hopefully that'll be good enough, but this is not a good spot. Alright, looks like they're going off. Sure, you can duress me. You take my Dismember. So you know I don't have it. Yep. Yep. LED. Alright, Infernal Tutor. So this looks like it's probably Ad Nauseam Tendrils. Echoing Truth, that's neat. Sure. So probably just going to get Ad Nauseam here. So our plan is to flash in Trickster. So yeah, they get Tutor first, so that way they can increase the storm count. Oh, they just have Tendrils. Okay, that's neat. So just had it in your hands. Alright, so this is Tendrils. So Venser, Force of Negation. The rest of these don't really matter that much. The Dismember is not really, like, this kills the Xantid Swarm, which keeps our counterspells alive. True Name is not where we need to be, though. I'm actually inclined to keep these, I think. Actually, we can probably take out Echoing Truth. And bring in 2 more Benthic Biomancers. And Revoker is fine because that can still turn off Lion's Eye Diamond. Okay, this is fine. We're going to do it like this. The only thing that sucks about Dismember is it means that they can kill us in a lower storm count, but generally if they can get a storm going in the first place, then we're probably just dead. But yeah, Xantid Swarm, they also might have something like, what is it, Carpet of Flowers that gives them like a bajillion mana. Alright, let's play. This hand's fine. We'll keep. We have two counter spells that, you know, they can duress one away, but they can't get rid of both of them. And we're also going to draw some cards with Silvergill, so maybe we'll find Chalice of the Void with it. Which I'll probably put on 0. Turn off LEDs. Sure. You can take, like, Negation. Or Force of Will. Like, one of them is fine. Neat. So I will probably pitch a Silvergill to a Force if I have to. So they're not ready to go off yet. Beautiful. So, yeah, so we're going to play the Mutavault first just because the 1 extra damage is not really worth it this turn, but if we draw Benthic Biomancer, I do want to be able to play that, maybe. Alright. So we have 6 power in play. That's a 3-turn clock now. With double forces up. This is not a terrible spot. And the Dismember protects us from Xantid Swarm. So they should know about these 3 cards, but not these 2. Venser is fine. We might end up pitching it, though. So let's see. If I play Master of the Pearl Trident, I put him to 10, and then he's dead next turn. Or I can just attack for 6, and that's... yeah, that's not going to kill him, so... this goes to 10, and then next turn, yeah. Alright. We are looking to kill him next turn. I think we get there. Just hoping double force is enough. Dark Ritual, sure. Sure, you can take one of my forces. I'm not adding to your storm count, so... yeah, alright, well, having an extra force is what won us that game, so... there we go. This seemed like it was pretty effective. I didn't see any Delver decks that time. That was interesting. Still no Wrenn and 6, but I feel like that's probably just a function of the MTGO meta. I think that Wrenn and 6 is being played a lot more than it looks like, because in 10 matches we haven't seen it once, but I don't know. Things on MTGO Legacy are just very different from paper. The cost of dual lands has a lot to do with that. Like, people can afford to spend money on dual lands online because they're relatively cheap, but in paper, those duels will be like $300–400 a piece. So yeah, that probably has a lot to do with it, because there's more non-blue decks in paper, but at the same time, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of strange. I would have expected to see Wrenn and 6 so far, but we didn't. Interesting. But I think this list performed pretty well. 4-1's not a bad result at all. We just lost to Hogaak, and honestly, the loss versus Hogaak might just be due to some, and like maybe there was a better way to sideboard versus that deck. Like there might have been a way to play against it a little bit tighter. It's hard to say. Definitely did get punished for just not drawing a second land in one game, but you know, so those are the odds. So it is what it is. So I'm still kind of torn between the two lists. They seem like they performed about the same. I'm not sure which one I like more, but there's merit to both of them. Maybe if I expect more stuff like Hogaak, then Phantasmal Image has a little bit more value because I can sacrifice it to kill Bridge. And the Revoker in the main deck seems like it's pretty fine. There's most of the decks that we're going to play against have a lot of good targets for it, so that's good. But at the same time, like, it can name stuff like Walking Ballista, so it does sort of the same thing that Mistbinder does in that it protects you from those sorts of cards. Also can shut down something like Engineered Explosives. At the same time, though, like, yeah, our mana base here is a little bit stronger. We get to play an extra Trickster, but there's also, it's a little bit weaker against stuff like Punishing Fire because we just have less Lords. It might also be a little bit weaker against Plague Engineer, so I don't know, it's hard, it's difficult to say. Like, maybe ever so slightly I'm favoring blue here. It seems like this is fine, and I think that's just because it's more immune to the Wasteland decks, which might be a little bit more popular now. But again, paper is different just because decks like Death and Taxes are going to be more prevalent just due to the fact that they cost less. I don't know. We'll see. We'll find out how it turns out. But yeah, that's all. I think that, you know, this list was fine. I'd expect me to play something like this again. So, all right. Hope everybody enjoyed that. Take it easy, everybody. That's all I got for now. Good night.